Alrighty, good evening, good evening, everyone. Tonight is Sloppy Joe's night. Cheers. I hope you're all doing wonderfully. This is like a once again, super easy recipe. You can just kind of make a huge batch of it. It'll hold for days. But if you've got a lot of people over, it's a really easy thing to do. I'll post the ingredients again on the YouTube when I post the video, but you're going to need some ground beef, you're going to need some peppers, some onions, some Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, and then your salt and pepper and stuff like this. And then I like to use brioche buns because that is the way to roll. So what I've done before I started this is I've drawn off some butter because we're going to brush those buns so you get a nice toast on them, because when you're dealing with Sloppy Joes, the last thing you want is for your hamburger bun to be like a sponge and pick it all up. So I'm going to go Mr. Rogers myself, put my apron on, and then we're going to wash our damn hands. Oh. I would say, what's everyone doing for the weekend, but hopefully we know, staying inside. Oh, did anybody see that the Prime Minister of England, the UK, Boris Johnson, tested positive for coronavirus? That's what happens when you don't take it seriously. Good Lord. Oh, I'm out of paper towels. Gotta get myself some fresh paper towels. Commodity around these parts. Oh. I gotta tell you, I am really looking forward to Netflixing and chilling by myself tonight with these Sloppy Joes. I'm probably gonna eat the whole batch before the evening is through, because I like them. They remind me of being a kid. All right, wash your damn hands. 20-second minimum. In between the fingers, over the palms, in between your thumbs, because the fingers, no matter what science tells you. All right, there we go. Air dry, or as I like to, clean paper towel. Oh, all right, let's get cooking, huh? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to brown our meat off. I'm just going to use a little bit of olive oil. And then what you want to do is you want to drain the meat, believe it or not. We're not going to season it. We're going to wait for all the seasoning at the end. So I've got my lovely new gift from a friend, handy dandy cast iron pan, ready to go. We get this stove lit up. Kaboom! Now we're cooking with gas. Literally. Get that olive oil going, let it get nice and hot. While you're waiting, you can always have a cocktail. Cheers. Oh man, I wonder if anybody's made any of my my little recipes yet. Hopefully they've turned out okay. The nice thing about this, like I was saying, guys, is you can make a big batch of this. This is gonna hold for 3-4 days in the fridge. It reheats super easy, whether in the pan or you can use a microwave. There's no need to rehydrate or anything. Makes a great lunchtime sandwich, whatever, but tonight we're doing this. And my favorite, Patrick Johnson, Patty Bruce in New York will know, these go really good with tater tots. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna just toss our meat in. And same way we do with every time we've cooked meat together, is we're gonna make sure that we break this up while it's cooking. I'm gonna have so many Sloppy Joes. Look at all this meat. So I had a little bit of meat left over from the stuffed peppers. So normally the recipe is going to call for about a pound. This is 1.5 pounds, but it's fine. I'm going to spend the weekend just eating my feelings, wishing someone else was around. Just let this brown. Nothing too exciting. But the important thing is that you drain this off, because otherwise you're going to end up with like this two sloppy Joes. You don't want them to be overly sloppy. You want them all to kind of come together in the end. Sometimes browning meat is like watching paint dry. I wish this was more entertaining, but I think you all know how to brown meat. While this is browning, I'll show you guys what else is going on ingredients-wise. So I like to use a green bell pepper, but that wasn't an option today at the market. So we're using a Holland or an orange pepper. I've just diced up half of a white onion, or a yellow onion as some people call it. Real brown sugar. You cannot skimp on that. A little bit of tomato paste. My favorite, Worcestershire sauce. And then we're just going to throw in some ketchup, good old Heinz. And here's the special ingredient, because you guys know by this point in time that I like things spicy. I'm going to use this stuff that's called Löwensenf, which is lion's mustard. This is like a super hot, spicy mustard. You can use like a normal yellow or stadium, whatever you want. There's even, if you're in the States, especially in Ohio, there's this stuff called Irish mustard, and it's like a neon yellow, and it is super, super spicy. It's amazing. I just like that for the bite, because the brown sugar is going to give us all the sweet, and the meat's going to give us all the savory. Make sure we are breaking this up. This is from the family known as loose meat sandwiches. It's actually how it got started. There was I want to say it was Chicago. I'm not sure if it was Chicago, but there was a chef named Joe. Might have even just been a line cook or something like that. And the diner or restaurant was famous for loose meat sandwiches. And one day he just threw in a bunch of ketchup and mustard, and ended up with the Sloppy Joe, and it was a hit. And then it has evolved over the years to different flavors, and definitely different in regions. I mean, there's places where you, like in the South, it would be sacrilege not to make this yourself, like home cook style. And then you've got places like the Midwest where we get cans of this stuff called manwich, which is basically all the sauce, and you just throw it into a burger meat and slap it on a bun. Kind of cheating, but I will say, much like Kraft mac and cheese, there are certain flavors from your childhood that you're like, yeah, that's what I want right now. Sometimes I really crave Kraft mac and cheese, and you just can't replicate that flavor. All right, we are coming up on browned here. Got a couple of pieces just because I cooked such a large portion that are going to be a little pink, but that's okay because we're going to cook off in the end. So what I'm going to do now is simply, I've got a little pop-up calendar. This thing's amazing. Look at this. So I've got this Stores Easy, boop, and I'm just going to drain the meat into there, and I'm going to let it sit on the side, and then we'll get started in sauteing everything else. Like our peppers and our onions, and we're going to combine all those ingredients at the same time. Wikipedia says it started St. Louis. Thank you, Shannon. So it started in St. Louis, not Chicago. Everyone say hello to my sister, Shannon. Shannon, this is a good one for you. You can do this in like 20 minutes and just be done. Obviously, Brody can't have any because you need teeth. But everyone else in the family, this is an easily done meal because we all got other stuff to do. All right, let's get all that out. And I'm just going to leave some of the beef juice in here because it's going to help me when I'm sweating out these peppers and onions. And this is really up to you guys. It all depends on how you like stuff. I like mine, I like kind of everything al dente. So I'm not going to sweat the peppers and the onions too much. Yes, amazing. Of course, naturally, salt and pepper. Normally what I would do is I would mince up some garlic and have that in there as well. But once again, wasn't an option today at the market. Work with what we have, right? Lovely. I'm so excited, I can't even tell you guys. These are going to be so good. It's actually going to be a lot in this one cast iron pan, but it's okay. I like cooking for an army and then, unfortunately, eating it all myself. Like I said yesterday, when this is all done, I'm probably going to be as big as a house. But it'll be a beautiful house. Lakefront property. It'll probably be a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom because that's how big I'm getting. I should probably do sit-ups in the afternoon, but I'm just not in the mood. I barely made it to the gym when we were allowed to go outside and go to the gym. Someone will love me for how big I am. Oh, lovely. Get those bad boys going. All right, so then at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to bring over our drained beef. We're going to throw that back in. By the way, I got to tell you guys, unfortunately, I wasn't able to take a picture of last night's recipe, but don't think it didn't turn out perfectly. I just ended up taking it over to some people, so I didn't take a picture when I was plating it. I'm going to bring the heat down to medium here because I don't want to overcook the meat. You don't want dry meat going on. All right, now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to throw in all of the other ingredients. We'll get that tomato paste going. Just a simple small can, depending on how much you're making. We're going to use 2/3 to a cup, depending on the consistency you want of ketchup. Get that going in there. Our spicy mustard, I'm going to go with like a tablespoon. Gorgeous. And of course our brown sugar. Bang! And just mix all that up together. I might need a little more tomato paste and ketchup because I have a lot more meat than the recipe calls for, but let's see how this all starts to pull together and then we'll get an idea. Oh yeah, we're gonna need more. Not too much more though, just a little bit. Actually, because I've got enough brown sugar in here, I'm actually going to use a little more tomato paste, I think. Well, actually, now that this is all cooking down, this is a consistency I like. We're not going to touch this at all. We nailed it. Look at that. Ooh. Right at the end here, I'm going to throw my garlic salt in. And our Worcestershire. We do about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. One of my favorite flavors, as you guys know. I think I say it enough. This is lovely. We're going to bring this way, way, way up to temp at the last minute. I'm going to kick this way up on high. Almost to the point where you're going to burn the sugar, but the point is to really activate it. And then when this starts to settle off on the side, we can start toasting our buns. Look at that. Oh, it actually has a better composition when you use that green bell pepper, but these orange peppers are going to taste just as nice. All right, I'm going to shut that down because I don't want to dry it out. We're going to move this off the stove. And all we're going to do is we're just going to take a simple skillet here. I've got my buns and I've got my drawn off butter there. Super simple, nothing to worry about. All you're gonna do is turn this up to a high heat. Take your barbecue brush and you're just gonna really douse the insides here. And the only reason you're doing this, like I said in the beginning, guys, is because when you're dealing with something like a sloppy Joe, the last thing you want to do is have like a hamburger bun that's like a sponge. It's not going to work out well, and it's just going to be a sloppy mess, and you're going to end up eating it with a fork and knife, which is fine if that's what you're after, but I want mine to be like a sandwich. So we're just going to let those brown, check on them, don't burn them. Super simple. And then you're just going to kind of put all that heaping mess on top and get yourself a delicious, delicious Sloppy Joe. And that's pretty much what I'll be eating for the weekend, guys. Next week, to much people's, some people's chagrin and some people's happiness, next week I'm going to do all vegetarian dishes. So we're going to make some pastas. We're going to make some cauliflower steaks. Maybe I'll throw a lasagna in there with the pastas. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But, oh, you know what you're going to want to see? Well, I think you're going to want to see. I do a vegetarian pulled pork. And I make it out of mushrooms. You can use mushrooms or jackfruit, but I make mine out of trumpet mushrooms. It's delicious. Let's see if those buns are ready yet, huh? Get my buns out of the oven. Oh my God, I've been inside alone way too long. Not quite yet, but almost. Let's get ourselves a plate. Because we're not animals. I really do suggest, guys, though, if you have the ability to do so, use brioche. Don't use like a white bread bun or anything. It's just a different flavor profile. Look at that. That is beautiful. All right? Oh, gorgeously toasted buns. All right. Let me see here. Let me get rid of this stuff here. Bring the top down on the stove so you guys can see what's going on. And then we're just going to take this lovely, look at that. Oh. And of course, don't worry to make a mess. It is okay. Oh, gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a Sloppy Joe. All right, guys, as I say during every show, take care of yourselves, stay in contact. This physical ailment and pandemic is just as serious as a mental or emotional problem. So love each other, but stay away from each other and keep in touch. Check in on friends, family, loved ones. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Mwah!